I don't really read it.
I think we're on. Hello, people. Welcome to the KahenaCon preview Hangout on air 2014. Yeah, live. Did I say that? We're just going to give some of the speakers a couple more minutes to join, and any other staff from Kahena who wanted to join from home, because it is late here, as most of you guys know. And yeah, we'll just give it a couple minutes and awkwardly sit here and dance around. That's not awkward about this.
Hey, Morris, there she is.
Oh, there's Kate.
So, hey, Kate.
Hey.
All right, we got audio.
Kate Morris, what are you up to over there?
I just got to work.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is it like 9:30 there? Is that right?
Yes.
Nice. And Joanna, knowing you should have a huge coffee next to you. Is that?
Yep, that's right. That's totally right.
I was just curious if today on this we were going to sing happy birthday to Kate Morris and embarrass her.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's start with that, shall we?
Oh no! Oh no!
This is gonna break.
It's gonna break Google.
Hangout.
Let's break Google.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you,
Kate!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I'm a horrible My teeth has been crazy right now.
Oh my god! Thank you!
I think I have the same headphones. Are those some fancy headphones?
Aaron's
All right. So I guess people will join as they join. I don't know who else may be joining. Maybe Daniel from Google, and Eitan said he may drop by. But I think we've got a core crew. And
we're gone.
We're gone. Look at that. We're just an orb. Let's see what happened here.
Oh wait, now you're an orb. You weren't an orb a second ago. There you go.
Oh, you must have a bit of a delay. Are we good now?
I think I'm frozen, unless you guys see me moving.
No, just your face. You have to turn your video on and off.
I think I need to turn some programs. Oh,
no, we're good. We're good. I think this may have something to do with Google+. All right, well, we're gonna, I think there's like only a certain number of people that can broadcast live, and so Google+ will just decide I'm serious. It'll decide who the weakest link.
We're the weakest link right now.
And then it's just deciding who to broadcast because it can't handle.
So sad.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just roll with it, and the last person to talk is a still of their profile picture, basically. So yeah, we wanted to kind of give folks a preview of KahenaCon. Thank you, speakers and panelists, for joining. I think, we started 2 years ago in a small room across our courtyard, which is now going to be the site clinic area, with 40 people, and it was an incredible experience because it was like a really collegiate atmosphere, and yeah, I just think it was a really awesome first go at it. Last year we really expanded, we upgraded the venue, we had 220 people, flew in Aleda Salas and Tom Anthony from the UK and Spain, and finally, I think this year we're really just taking it up another notch, and just everything is upgraded, whether it's the visuals and the production quality, the wonderful speakers that we're flying in from the US who are here with us, and really focusing on longer sessions where we can get some really actionable takeaways and some sort of creative insight. And yeah, we're really looking forward to that format. So I guess today we can go briefly to everybody and get a little bit of a preview as to what your talks will be about. For those that are coming, they can get more excited. For those that are on the fence, they can hear a little bit more about whether or not this may be relevant for them. And then after that, we'll just chat and hang out in between two different buckets.
I have a fake plant.
Hey, is it really fake or is it a bonsai?
It's a fake bonsai. Because we don't keep plants alive here. Huh?
Is it an IKEA plant?
I don't think so. Well, it's unmarked, so it's a suspicious plant.
It's a suspicious plant.
Suspicious in its origin.
We named our plants, and then some of them died. We had a whole ceremony.
Yeah.
We're terrible. We went to a like a company breakfast that was connected to a what's the word in English? Nursery. Thank you.
Yeah.
And everybody got to pick out a plant, and like everyone was so excited. Within like 3 weeks, half of them were dead.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we start with Joanna? You're chatting. So
Okay.
do you want to tell us a little bit about well, I guess a little bit about you and Big Door, and then what you're flying half the globe to speak about.
Yeah, sure. So I'm super excited for this conference. I heard such great things last year. I'm the CMO of a company called Big Door. We power loyalty solutions for the enterprise. So we're all about helping today's brands connect with today's consumers and keep them engaged and excited and really increase that loyalty. So it is very much aligned with what I'm talking about at KahenaCon. I'm going to be covering really what's changed, like why as marketers do we have to take note of these distinct changes with the consumers, like how have their behaviors changed, how have their decision models and mechanisms changed, how are they discovering differently, what shifts have happened that we have to not just take note of, but really react. So this is so timely for me and something I think we'll feel throughout all the presentations in some capacity, but we, as marketers, we can get really reactive, and I'm trying to help us, leapfrog a bit and get a bit more proactive. So on how we change our channels, our tactics, just our mind frame and our framework to best meet the consumer, and hopefully create loving relationships between consumer and brand, because that's what we're all about. So I'm going to be talking a lot about that today, or when I get there. I don't want to tell too much.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, don't give away the farm.
Right? I have some slides I'd like to show you. And
yeah, no, I think there's a common theme that, like, although everybody's coming with their different expertise and their different subject matter expertise, right? What I found is that very much different from last year, even the year before, it slowly moves from a tactic base, right? So here's a tool that I think is awesome, or here is a tactic that I think you can go and do and it'll work great, and so on. It's really turned to like a larger conversation about what we do after we acquire that initial visit to our website, or what we do after we acquire some sort of engagement, like a micro conversion. And I think that's super interesting. So like you'll be speaking about loyalty and so on. How do we keep users engaged with their brand? I know Eitan's going to be talking about content. We're talking about creativity and branding, and so it's super interesting. Like I think we've moved from tactics and how you can take away something from a conference to getting inspired to a larger realm of possibilities once you started engaging with your consumers, your brand, people who are engaging with you online and so forth. So super exciting. What would you say, Joanna, to sort of a digital marketer who feels like they read a lot, they know a lot, they kind of got the SEO stuff down, and they maybe are doing a bit of online advertising, and maybe they're engaging a bit on social. You may not have an answer for this, but why would coming to a conference where we're not talking about the acquisition, but maybe more about engagement after that initial acquisition, why would that be relevant for someone who's trying to improve their efforts on their site or with their brand?
Yeah, so that's a great question. This is so perfectly what we're talking a great deal about here, which is that this is the first year, you know how at the beginning of the year a lot of the state of the industry surveys come out. This was the first year that so many of them pointed to marketers when polled. They said that their biggest challenge was not acquiring customers for the first year ever, but engaging and retaining those customers. So we are actually being asked by our CEOs more than ever as the marketing team to use our resources, use our budget, find the infrastructure, which is so complicated, to set in place an infrastructure that can be omni-channel, that can be user-centric, that can be trackable and reportable. These are challenges that marketers, we've done in bits and pieces, but it's not in our wheelhouse as much as some of the other things we've done. So we are tasked with really different KPIs for the first time ever. It's only going to become more important, and it's what makes marketing cross-department in a lot of ways. You find that we're working closer with customer service, we're working closer with product, we're working closer with design. We're being asked to steer these cross-department initiatives, and so if I would say that that's what KahenaCon and the lineup you've put together is all about, is how are we going to lead the way and not just rely on kind of tactics that we've fine-tuned over the years, but make it way more holistic and impactful to the business's bottom line. It's just really different than it used to be.
Yeah, no, totally. I think you summed that up really well. And like, we challenge ourselves here, I think, to try to think omni-channel and think sort of holistically about bottom line and become our clients' team members. And I think that if you're in-house or at an agency or an independent marketer, even if your sort of entry point is search or social or ads, if you gain that trust of your marketing department or your boss or your client, you will start to get tasked with naturally engaging with all sorts of different channels or different departments, whether it's tech and development, design, like you said. So I think having those multiple perspectives from like a larger umbrella view is huge right now if you want to advance as a digital marketer and not get left behind. Cool. Well, thanks, Joanna.
Yeah, no worries. I'm really excited, guys.
We are too, and it's your first visit to Israel, and also you're traveling with Kate too. So
we are.
We're
We're
really
going to be live
excited
tweeting our adventures.
Yeah, totally. Okay, should we naturally transition to Kate? Because I think that's probably in order anyway.
That totally works.
That work?
Yeah.
Yes, completely. Actually, I can take a lot of what Joanna said and say that I naturally transitioned to another topic, but on a lot of the same things that she said.
Right.
For
those that just joined, it's Kate's birthday, and so just wish her happy birthday.
Or something on these Google
Yeah, I know that you can do those little effects. Now it may crash your computer.
It might.
Yeah, it might. Hold on. Let's see if I can.
Google effects.
Yeah, you got to put the birthday hat on. Yay!
There we go. It doesn't work with this though. It's kind of weird, but yes. There you go. There you go. Birthday.
It'll go on all of our heads. All right, so continue. Sorry, Kate.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I got everybody on this now.
We're like a huge room. They won't be able to pick us up.
I was going to say, when it's multiple people, it really has a hard time. I love it. How do we do it?
Yeah, we can try, but I'm worried it's going to crash the computer. Don't do it.
Okay, bye.
Here.
I
Yourself, though, when you join. All right. So,
I think the clown is the absolute best one. The clown is killing me right now.
Scary clown.
Oh my God, that is so great. Totally leaving that there. Oh my God.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, birthday girl.
No, we totally good. So I will start out with what. Oh my God! Wait, that's real.
I know, that's right. Here, let's go to Aaron.
I had animations to work on my tablet, so I just got my kid's helmet.
I love that your kid's helmet fits on your head.
I know.
Oh, it's a little.
All right.
A little snug. Okay.
All right, birthday girl. You're on.
All right, so my talk is on originality. And what I was really going for is over the last number of years, I mean, I started way back when Overture was actually a thing. I think Joanna can join me in knowing what that is, but not everybody does. But over the last number of years, of every conference I've spoken at, everything I've seen just recently, people don't really want to know how to get more users. I think we got the getting more users really easily. Wait, I think I just crashed. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yep.
Hear you.
Okay, good. Everything got really silent really fast. And what you guys are saying about people know how to get new users, but the issue is not getting new users. The issue is in getting those users to stick around. It's about growing the business. And a lot of what we get today is businesses coming to us and going, we want to be X, we want to be Amazon, we want to be Zappos, we really want to make a difference. We really want to have really, really engaged customers. And what I've seen from a search perspective of how you rank well, how you make a difference, how you grow traffic and how you grow engaged traffic is by originality. And originality is a really hard thing to explain and get a grasp on. And so my talk is actually based on a Will Smith song, so that's one giveaway. And so everybody's going to see a lot of Will Smith, but I'm going to take this song and apply it to digital marketing and what you should be focusing in on and how you should be spending your time on a day-to-day basis to really find those original ideas, because while none of us can tell you what it is that's going to make your business stand out against your competitors, against the market overall, what we can do is show you what has worked and give you some inspiration and show you what you should be working on a day-to-day basis to come up with that original idea. And original idea and original content, of course, is not something, it's not just a product idea. There are lots of businesses that need originality. They don't have products, they have services.
Right.
They have offerings. Originality is not just in an infographic. I'm with everybody else. If I have to hear about another infographic, I'm probably going to tear my hair out. But some of them are really good, and some of them stand out, and they really make a difference in people's lives. And it's coming up with those ideas that really makes a difference. It's not a tool anymore. I've seen so many tools go by the wayside. I've learned about all those tools. I've used all those tools. To tell you the truth, people ask about the tools I use today, and they really are just a handful. They really are, from a natural search perspective, I have a crawler, and I have a web browser. And those are the two biggest things that I use right now. Those are my tools. My tools nowadays are the brains around me. They are the questions that I ask my clients. They are the conversations that I have with them about what their product offerings are. And so it really has changed from what are your tactics, which keep getting, I'm not going to say the word I'm coming up with, keep getting just overused and bashed by all search engines, and you can't use tactics anymore. You've got to figure out what works for your company, not what has worked for everybody else. And so my talk is really exploring that.
Got it. Wow. That was really inspiring.
I'm excited. That's awesome.
We're really excited. No, I mean, I think that, like, you know, working at an agency and hearing clients who say that they want to be the next whatever, or you know, not necessarily thinking about what their, you know, unique value proposition is, or how they can be different or original, is tough. And so it lends to the question, I know that we're going to get these questions live on Sunday, is, okay, well, I'm not this huge business with unlimited resources where I can sit in a room like Don Draper and Madman and think of
exactly.
So if I'm, you know, a local plumber, like, I can't do an infographic. And so does it mean, well, local's a different story, but like someone who's targeting a national audience, does it mean that you, like, the days of building a website whose, like, sole, you know, real marketing budget is in ads or SEO, is that, like, done? Can nobody, it's like there's no longer an equal playing field where, you know?
Definitely not, because everybody's playing field is different. Everybody's playing field is different. It's taking the time to understand what your playing field is and not expecting to take over the world after launching your first website. Very, very few companies are going to be able to hit the national scale right off. Now, some can because of some really big original idea and promotion.
Right.
But a lot of companies that are like, oh, we don't have a really great product. I mean, I'm a plumber. Everybody else is a plumber. What exactly is different about me? But I guarantee you, that plumber somewhere in the middle of the United States, maybe in Israel, they have something that they know. They have some knowledge that somebody else doesn't have. They know something about that area. They know something about how those houses are built. And it's that knowledge and sharing that knowledge that is different, only it's coming up with what sets you apart. And if you don't have anything that sets you apart, using your community to figure out what it is that sets you apart. Why do people tell other people about you? It's answering that question.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Very cool. All right. Well, we won't spill all the beans, but that's very inspiring, and I think totally makes sense. And I think a lot of people will be interested in hearing about how they can be original. On Sunday, so thanks, birthday girl, Kate.
Thank you.
I don't remember who's next in the schedule. I think it's Gilad. I don't know if Gilad was on and he was off. Okay, he doesn't look like here. So Gilad's going to be talking about content marketing. I think people are getting bumped in and out. So Gilad briefly is from Outbrain. I can't remember his title. He's like responsible for a lot of different things. Senior Vice President of Product and Marketing and a bunch of other things. So I think he's going to be talking about like case studies and great content, how the big brands are doing it, and how potentially some small brands have succeeded, particularly how you're able to accelerate content with a small budget or a big budget and get that great thing, whether it's an infographic or something else, really out there so that you can kind of reach new audiences. You spent all this time developing awesome content, and why not accelerate it a little bit with different tools or things that are with a little bit of a budget. So that's Gilad's talk. And then we have lunch, and a huge 2-hour block. People think I'm crazy. It's like, okay, we're going to block off lunch for 2 hours, and then we are going to have breakout sessions and sponsors, so SEM Rush and Rank Ranger, who's from Israel, who we work closely with, who we love. They're going to each be giving 20-minute demos and taking people's sites that they've talked to earlier in the day or before the conference and demoing how they can use their software. So we use both all the time, and that's why it was a real match to have them here. We didn't just take anybody, but yeah, we're really excited to have them. SEM Rush is going to be raffling off an iPad, which is really cool.
Are we eligible?
No, I think this terms and conditions, like those old commercials, the staff are not allowed. But they'll be raffling off an iPad, and Rank Ranger is giving away like a bunch of 3 months of views. So, and then the site clinics, which I always find awesome. Kate, Adam, and two of our staff, Ari, there. What's up, Ari?
Hello.
Another Ari Roth, and Rachel will be on the SEO and inbound clinic, and then we've got Daniel Feldman from Google or Waze. We've got who else am I got distracted. Who else are?
Sarah Snow.
Thank you, Sarah Snow
From Glide.
From Glide, which is an awesome app, also based out of Israel, and Hillel Fold, the famous Hillel Fold, will be giving a clinic on social and community management. So that's going to be, I think, really popular.
You're forgetting one person.
Who am I forgetting? And Aaron. And Aaron. Well, I'm not going to be on the panel. Aaron's going to be moderating the social and community panel and making sure Hillel doesn't get too unruly and telling people they need to be on Google+.
I'm looking forward to Aaron yelling at Hillel about Google+.
That's going to be a fight. All right, so those are our panels. After which we'll all come, stuff with food, get our espressos and cappuccinos with soy milk. Joanna, I'll explain all the kosher stuff later. It's very complicated.
Thank you.
And then we'll get into some deep analytics. And the only reason we would put a topic like analytics right after lunch is because there's only one person who wouldn't put you to sleep talking about analytics, and that's the pirate that we have here, Yoshua. Yeah, let me switch there. Okay, so Yoshua, tell us, that like looks like it's really on you. With the
I
beard.
know, it's crazy.
Amazing.
Can he do it with the pirate hat?
I'll have to get him a real one. I have
pirate
to
hat.
find one. Write that down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just switch from Analytics Ninja to Analytics Pirate.
Yeah.
So, fill us in, Yoshua. What will you be speaking about? at KahenaCon.
Yeah, after lunch. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate that. I'm going to talk about the Google product space for a little bit. I think a lot of people are very excited and hyped about what Universal Analytics is and what it's going to be able to do for marketers in particular in terms of cross-device measurement and journey. I'm going to address that a little bit in terms of what their product actually does and what people can actually have a better kind of realistic expectation in terms of Universal Analytics. I'm also going to talk about ways that people can be leveraging that particular product space to be making smart business decisions, right? That's going to, on one hand, be looking at things like Google Tag Manager and how the use of tag management systems in general can be used to actually make, smart marketing decisions in terms of, let's say, remarketing and ways that you can be using remarketing and retargeting that's not stupid and just, I don't know, you don't want that same ad just following you everywhere, like you see oftentimes on. Yes,
Sorry.
I know. I will see if I can find a couple of screenshots of the KahenaCon following me on Jerusalem Post and on wherever I go. It's like, actually, I think I'm going to that conference already, and how to do.
We could talk about how we failed at excluding people who are already coming. We can talk about that.
So I'm going to talk about remarketing to a degree and remarketing lists for search ads, which are a little bit more difficult to deploy because of their unique aspect. But I think remarketing lists for search ads are particularly interesting PPC product, in terms of AdWords and being able to actually change your bid based upon things that people who are searching, not just like seeing those display ads. And we'll do a healthy use of strategic implementation towards analysis, right? Real analysis is about segmentation, and segmentation takes two forms. It's either going to be ad hoc, or it's going to be segmentation that you thought of in advance. So when people are thinking about their business, right? When Kate was saying like every business is different, I think that really speaks in terms of analytics in a very clear way, right? You have to ask what sorts of business questions do you want to answer, and how do you describe your business? So I see the process, in my client work is oftentimes helping companies understand, well, how do I describe my business, right? And how does data describe my business? And that takes actually some foresight. So I'm going to talk about a couple different business models ranging from e-commerce and retail to content and publishers and just and B2B space and what that might look like. For each of those sorts of frameworks, they need a different type of implementation so that they can do the segmentation that will give birth to insights. And that's the key. I want people to get a sense like, oh, if I'm not thinking in advance, I'm not going to be able to have those insights. And thinking in advance is required to do that type of ad hoc slice and dice. And because segmentation is where you're going to get that real value. And they'll throw in some things about qualitative data as well, and also people not being so bound by tools and products and systems, but rather be looking for business questions and answers from data. Because I've experienced as somebody who's been very Google centric for the past few years in terms of my data direction, right? And that's for a purpose. Like I did that strategically in terms of my business, in terms of wanting to gain a particular expertise in millions and millions of websites are using Google Analytics and Tag Manager,
Right.
but I want to have people think like kind of outside of that box a little bit as well, and talk about kind of the analytics space in that area, so they're not pigeonholed into a product.
Right. Wow. Okay. So I mean, I think on one hand, like what we say here all the time is like everybody's got like an analytics block every other day, let's say, for their clients to deep dive, and it's always you can get lost down the rabbit hole of segmenting and playing and drilling down to dimensions and so on. But if you don't have a question prior, that you're trying to answer, then you leave that whole session with nothing tangible. Whether it's an insight or another question that you want to ask, or a business question that you want to take back to the client or your team, and so on. So I love that. I love the sort of having a purpose and merging the data questions you're asking with the business questions.
Well, the problem is not that. The problem is not about merging the data question. The problem is asking a data question.
Right.
The problem is asking a data question. If you ask a business question, then you say, now how do I answer that with data? But if you ask a data question, so you're going to spend your whole time trying to just dig through data, and you're not going to answer your business questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, you can spend a lot of time.
Yar!
This is what I love. Like you come out of nowhere and just delight, man. And the other exciting thing is that Universal is out of beta, and correct me if I'm wrong, we can do retargeting the same way now as with Universal, which is super exciting. So I don't want to give away all the stuff you're talking about, but that's something more I think everybody's looking forward to hearing about. Thanks, Mr. Pirate Ninja.
And guys, I have to jump out because I have another meeting at 10. But it was good chatting, and I will see you guys soon.
See you on Sunday. Have a good flight.
I will. All right, bye guys.
Bye. Bye. All right, so we're going to go to Adam. I know we're actually kind of running over a bit, so I want to respect everybody's time. So Adam, let's hear it.
Yep. All right. Yep. So basically, what Joanna and Kate had said about their sessions is something very similar to what I'll be talking about in terms of unsiloing SEO and showing not just how SEO is an afterthought, but really getting it in wherever it makes sense, whether that's in customer service and how SEO can impact that, and actually unbundling SEO to really talk about not just the technical, but how we can save money in other departments by utilizing whether it's content or better linking or your affiliate program, saving money there, or even saving money in PPC. Just how can SEO impact the bottom line of other departments? And I've got some concrete examples. And also, as we talk about how we're unsiloing SEO, that also lends itself to stop doing checkbox SEO.
Yeah.
And so I'll give an example or two about how SEER, we fell into that for a couple different strategies that we've done in the past, and then how we've changed those to make them more actionable and make them just really valuable.
Right. And I look. I mean, obviously, I have an insight to your presentation because I've seen it.
Okay.
But I thought that sort of, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know we spoke briefly about it, but that it seems like that customer service info. I mean, like you'll be talking about how that's kind of like a feedback loop. Is that right? Like meaning using that to build your strategy. And is that accurate? Like what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to really find out what customers are saying. That's exactly what Kate touched on. Really understanding what your customers are saying, either what they're saying is valuable about you, what they're saying in terms of information that you're not providing on your website, information that, complaints and addressing those, complaints and not having complaints board or rip-off report show up, but maybe you have a page that addresses a problem. Just really getting feedback from every angle, and also being a customer of your own product. I think a lot of times we'll, as an agency, we might dive into a project and never fully understand how a customer might go through their process, and understand some frustrations or some holes in the bucket that we can hopefully plug up.
Totally. And I think, like, as I said in the beginning, whether you're an inbound marketing manager or a search manager or whatever, you are touching on so many aspects of the user experience. And I think so much we have so often focused on like acquisition, like just doing everything we can to get that initial new visitor to the website, right? And then that lends itself to thinking about non-branded search, right? People who did not know about your brand already. But I think it's super interesting that we think beyond that first visit. So customer service, right, and understanding what people are saying on the phone, whether that's through phone recordings and so on. I think that's like that's huge. Whether it's coupons or negative responses, looking at branded search, and what your boss always says is don't hit enter, and see how people are searching. And I think that's just, there's so much more to do from a branded perspective with people who have already started to engage with you. So SEO is not just about that non-branded optimization. I think there's like serve content and listen to your users. I'm really excited for your talk. It'll probably cut mine down.
Absolutely, we're moving away from.
Say it again.
I was saying just moving away from. We're going to be moving away from talking about visits and getting visits, but talking about by not doing this and putting revenue in there, putting money in there, because that's really what all the other departments that you work with speak to.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks the language of money, so instead of saying, I think we're missing out on a couple of visits, I think we're missing out on this traffic, look how much traffic these keywords get.
Yeah.
Bring it all back down to, I think we're missing out on 15 grand here, I think we're missing out on $200,000 here, I think we're wasting 50 grand here, and really showing the value that we can really address some problems and fix them.
Yeah. And I think inbound marketers are specifically, or digital marketers as a whole, who understand even the basics about analytics and understand a little bit of technical aspects. It allows them to touch on those different areas and interface with different departments, either in-house or from an agency perspective, so that you get buy-in for that whole customer experience, whether it's conversion rate optimization, the funnel, whether it's making sure that when people are on a mobile device, it looks proper and they can get through the funnel the same way, all that stuff. So I'm super excited for your talk, and I think, I think honestly, everybody's talk sounds really interesting.
I'm so excited.
And I think, there is like a really common thread through everything, and I'm really pumped. I think like we've been planning and have a lot of logistics. Robin's done a lot of the graphics nonstop, and she's ready to, kill me from all the different changes. But I think everybody's getting really excited now for the actual event, and yeah. Ari, do you want to say a couple words about the clinic? I know that like we're still getting submissions now and so on, but like what our goal of it is.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
I've got to
we
run out.
clarified this whole time.
Bye, Adam.
See you, Adam. Thanks for joining. See you. Have a good flight.
Bye, Adam. So yeah, basically the whole point was to give tips and insights to business owners that are really going to help them in the bottom line. It's not just, a conference you go to for networking. There's networking there too, but the things that at the end of the day, they're going to walk away and say, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to implement this for my site tomorrow and hopefully see some impact for that. So we're going to have myself, Rachel Slovin, the other senior account manager at Kahena, Adam and Kate, who are, of course, awesome. That's why we're flying them out. Giving them live tips. Someone in the audience will say, this is my website. Can you take a look? We have X problem. What's wrong? And, hopefully from just looking at it and putting our four brains together, we'll have what to tell you to really make an impact for your business.
Awesome. Exciting.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think on the social side, like, Aaron, you've been on numerous site clinics before. I don't know if you're still there. All I see is your headshot. But our goal for the community management session is really just to be able to there's his feedback. Hey, Aaron, you there, buddy?
Hey, I'm like freezing all over the place.
Yeah. All right. So basically, community management platform, site clinic, people can come and kind of let everybody. It's kind of like you're really vulnerable in that place. But it's a community. We're going to be nice and gentle. Just give us your site or your social profiles, and I think it'll be a conversation with people who have really succeeded in the industry. So Sarah from Glide has done really awesome stuff with video engagement, one-to-one video engagement as a community manager, which is crazy. I don't know how she has time to do that. Yeah. Obviously, Hillel Fold, who everybody knows, who's like the king of selfies and startup advising, who's just a social king, and Daniel, a good friend of mine, who he's not out there writing blog posts or speaking at conferences, but he's done an incredible thing with Wave from the ground up since they were, for the last 6 some odd years, who are now acquired by Google, for $1 billion some odd. He has taken them from no community to having the community be the driving factor in the business, which is crowdsourced traffic data, right? So I think the three of them plus Aaron moderating and giving his insights is going to be incredible. I'm really stoked. I wish I could actually, enjoy the conference and not be running around. So we're really stoked. Do you guys have anything to say besides?
No, I'm just really excited to hear everybody and just learn a whole bunch and be super inspired to take it, apply it.
And this is Robin, everybody, and she's looking for a job in San Francisco. She's unfortunately leaving us and going back to the U.S. So if you know any new companies...
there are tons of openings in San Francisco.
Really?
I can definitely point you to a few places.
Yeah,
God,
we were already going to connect you, but I'm glad because she's. I wish I could hold on to her, but we're gonna have
definitely.
Okay, cool.
Shlomo and Robin, I think we need to make it our goal for KahenaCon to take things off Ari's plate so he can actually enjoy.
There's a whole company that's going to be doing lots of stuff. It's just me. It's my nature. I'm going to be running around like a chicken with a head cut off.
Every day.
Who did that? Oh, yeah, sure. All right, with that is our hangout. Thank you so much for joining. We can't wait to see you on Sunday. Buy tickets, guys. It's still out. Yay! Take care from us
Great to see you guys.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Bye.
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 You can stop broadcast.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.